Hey, it is day 2 of booktubeathon, and I think I'm doing pretty well. This is going to be my review of The Final Empire, the first novel in the Mistborn series by Sanderson. So this is going to be my review for it, but I'm just going to chuck on the challenges at the start and tell you what I've been up to. Yeah, so actually for the first day of booktubeathon I read about 300 pages of this baby and finished it off, so I'm going to do a review of that. The video challenge is to say 3 books that booktube inspired you to read, and for that I'm going to choose Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, Legend, Prodigy, and Champion by Maria Lu, and Darkest Mind series. So yes, that's my video challenge for day 2, because it's day 2. I am reading Animal Farm by George Orwell, and I'm into that, but I'm going to finish it off tonight, and then I'm going to read Coraline, the graphic novel by Neil Gaiman. And yeah, it's really creepy actually. Look at that. But that is my plan for the next few days, and we'll see how that goes. But right now I'm going to do a review on The Final Empire by Sanderson. I'm probably going to go into a discussion later, so I'll just tell you about the book. But first of all, I really enjoyed this book, and I'm definitely going to continue on actually. I'm getting the second book, The Well of Ascension, this afternoon. And I'm really excited to keep going because this book was so full of stuff. The plotline was really thick, like there was so much stuff going on. It was really exciting the whole time. If I could give this probably 5 out of 5 stars. Let me tell you what it's about. I actually think it's better to go into this book without a description. You know, you just aren't prepared, and it's like, whoa. But I can tell you if you want, I mean, that's what I'm here for. But basically, the land that they live in is called the Final Empire, and it's ruled by a man called the Lord Ruler. And basically, he's in charge of everything, and the skies are red. There's no green plants or green grass or anything. Everything is covered in ash that falls from these volcanoes that erupt. And so there's just ash falling all the time. And at night these mists come out, and they've been there ever since the Lord Ruler was in charge. And basically the Lord Ruler is like a god to them. There's Scar, which are like slaves, I guess. And there's noblemen. And then you can have half-breeds, and noblemen are supposed to be like noble blood. And then Scar is just anyone else. They don't have any hope, and they just let it happen, and they get beaten, and the noblemen sleep with Scar women, and afterwards it's law that they have to kill them, and so lots of Scar women get killed by that. The main character, well, there's 2 main characters. There's Vin, who is a 16-year-old girl who's Scar, and she works in a thieving crew. She runs into Kelsia, who is a Mistborn. And in this series, the magic system in this series is so cool. It's so different to anything I've ever read. It's called Allomancy, and it's basically you draw the power from metals. So there's 8 metals. The Mistborn and the Mistlings draw from these metals, and Mistborn can have power over all 8 of the metals and can control them. And these Mistborn are really super rare. And then there's Mistlings, who can have control over 1 metal, and that's their specialty. Yeah, specialty. I'm pretty sure that's all I should tell you about the story, because, you know, you should go in having a fresh mind, but that's basically what the world's like. And throughout the story you get to follow Vin and Kelsia and see what's happening. But right now I'm going to go into the discussion, so if you haven't read the book, you should definitely go read it, come back, and you can watch! Yay! Okay, let's just alright, let's talk about Kelsia. Let's do it. I have been in denial. I finished this last night at like 1 o'clock. Kelsia, I am in denial, and didn't happen. I refuse to believe that happened, and it didn't happen. But his character, let's talk about his character. Yeah, let's do that. He was really different to a lot of characters I read. Sometimes he did stuff and I was like, stop. stop that. But I actually agree with like a lot of the things he said. Not about noblemen. I was just like, Kelsey, give him a chance. Come on. I mean, he noticed that Vin was in love with Ellen like halfway through. He did not ship it. He was so sweet to Vin. He was like a father figure for her. Ugh. Vin's father. That was heavy. The whole book I was expecting him to turn up. He didn't really do anything, I guess, because he didn't know about Vin. But that was so heavy. He was like beaten to death by those Inquisitors. Okay, let's talk about Inquisitors. Let's just do it. Steel Inquisitors are literally the scariest fucking things I've ever heard of in my life. Like, literally scare the crap out of me. Like, I've explained it to other people and they're like, yeah, it's not that bad. But you just read it, like it doesn't sound bad in theory, and then you read it and just everything they say is like, ugh, ugh, and the things in their eyes, ugh, yeah. Okay, Elend. Oh my god, Elend. I loved Elend. Oh, just like as soon as we met him, he had a book, so I really liked him. He was really nice. I agree with a lot of the things he said, and I was really glad that as soon as he asked her about the scar, I was like, yes, he's gonna be a revolutionary. Oh my god, revolutionary, right? I was literally thinking of Les Mis that whole time, and he reminded me so much of Enjolras. I'm probably saying that wrong, but he reminded me of him. He was such a leader, and he was like so ready to just change stuff for the better, and I was like, yes! And he's going to be such a big part of the next few books, I can tell, and he's just gonna grow so much. Then Ellen's father, oh my god, I wanted to punch him in the face repeatedly. He was such a crispy nipple. He was a moist towelette. He was like those white stringy things on bananas that are just so fucking pointless. I hated him. He was so mean, like, just throughout the whole thing. I can't believe he wanted to get Ellen fucking assassinated. And then at the end when Ellen was like, actually I'm gonna stay here, his father was like, yeah, you know what, that's a good idea, because he knew he'd get killed and it would be just easier for them. And I was like, do you have no compassion or like care for your own children? I was just so baffled that he would just, people like that. Let's talk about Spook / Lustborn. All the names in this story are so hard to pronounce. Oh, he was so sweet, and I could tell that he was like, he was crushing on Vin. That handkerchief, I was like, oh, and I knew that she didn't like him. I mean, come on, I feel like he's one of those characters that everyone loves, and you love them more and more, and then they die. So I really hope he doesn't die, because he's great. I loved the whole crew, actually. Her brother Reen sounds like a butthole. A smelly butthole at that. He, just like as soon as you, it switched to her perspective at the start, she was like, oh, my Rain would have said to never trust anyone, and like these people are going to betray you and stuff, and I was like, who is this guy? Who is this? And I was like, we're going to see him again in the story, and I'm going to punch him in the face. And then the Steel Inquisitor was like, actually, we tortured him to death. He didn't let us know about your whereabouts, and so I was like, what if he lied? What if the Steel Inquisitor was like fucking lying to her? What if Reen is still alive and he's gonna like come back and be a butthole? Need new adjectives. Oh dude, when the Lord Ruler showed up for the first time, because they just talk about him the whole time, then he turns up at the place, and I'm not talking about that. He was hot. I was like, wow, he's a babe. And, you know, then he, like, killed people, but detail. Well, what was I talking about? Yeah, and then that whole thing with him being half Allomancer, half Pharamachist. I'm not going to try to pronounce that again. I apologize. That was really interesting, and that he, that whole plot twist with, that he was actually Rashek, the hero of the ages, the servant guy. That was crazy. I couldn't, and she saw him as an old man. I didn't think about it, and it was so smart. Oh my god. Yeah, that was really cool. And I'm really sad that the actual hero died, because I reckon it would have been really interesting to see what he did. And I think he really would have actually tried to help for the best, so that would have been cool to see what he did. Sian was a bitch. I'm glad she died. Her death scene was sick, and I was like, oh, yes! And she got stabbed to the chest with that little arrowhead, and I was like, oh, it was awesome! Yeah, I'm really glad she died. She was getting in the way. It wasn't great. I was really upset that throughout the whole story, literally Elend called Vin Valette. I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry. He called her Valette the whole time. Even when he found out that she was a Scar, she wasn't even like, actually, my name's Vin. She came and was like, oh yeah, well I guess she was like fighting Seal Inquisitors and stuff. But I wish that he would have called her Vin. Like even in the last scene, I was expecting her to be like, oh, hey, I'm Vin. How are you doing? Yeah, when she started walking away on the roof, she was like, no, he doesn't deserve someone like me. I was like, sit the fuck down, go down there. And she did. And I was like, oh. 515. How Vin walks into Club's shop and no one has no idea where she's been. Lord Ruler Girl, Bree said, forget the dress, what happened to you? I think I did something bad, Vin said. I kind of killed Sian Alariel. You did what? I loved that. She was so great. I loved it. So, I was thinking about the scene, how she was talking to Marsh. Oh my god, Marsh. I'll talk about it. She was talking to Marsh about how Reen saved her from her mother. That was heckers. How her mother killed her little sister. And she was almost about to kill Vin, but she was calling Vin a queen. A queen? I'm saving that baby for later. And also, I have a theory about Elend. Okay. Most noble men are misborn. Or misling, you know. And Elend has had like an easy life. What if he hasn't snapped yet and he's actually a misborn or a misling? And he has powers. I mean, gah! Right? Am I right? I could be right. I'll take that and run with it. Also, when Kelsia was destroying all the ATM, I was kind of like, is this a bad idea? I think it is. Is that necessary? But I mean, I guess it was for the best. I was just kind of nervous. What Kelsia was thinking about Sazed, how he was thinking about the new future coming and that Sazed would be able to stop learning and start teaching people. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm way attached to these characters. It's not going to end well. Illy Sazed. I loved Sazed. He was so great. And I was really sad how in the end when she was in the ministry, the critic show. Yeah, got that. And Sazed was brought in naked because he was castrated. Oh my god, that was like... in my notes it just says balls! Exclamation mark. But I really enjoyed all the ball scenes. See, this is so weird out of context. The balls that Vin went to with Elend and stuff. I have a thing for balls. Like, see, it doesn't work. Like in Clockwork Prince and stuff when Will and Tessa go to balls. And I just love balls. Like, again. 582. What is 582? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get this off. I'm gonna get it out and then I'll go from it. So, Kelsia, he's dead. That didn't happen. I am actually just hoping that he is really not dead. Like, I am thoroughly convinced in my brain that he's not dead and he's going to come back and he's going to save the day and it's going to be awesome. But I am just, the only reason I've gotten through this whole day at school is because that I've been telling myself that he's not dead and he's going to come back and it's going to be awesome. That's my review on The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, and I will be getting the next book today. In like an hour I'm getting The Well of Ascension and I'm so excited, and I'll probably do a review on that as well, and it'll be pretty cool, and it's a date. I'll see you there. Molly, bye!